Former Attorney General Amos Wako is now proposing that elections audits should be done after every election and not under disputed circumstances in order to instill the confidence in the electoral process. Meanwhile, the Public Service Commission has proposed a progressive review of the tax regime or a wage increase to deal with the harsh economic times, while the Ilchamus community want a court judgment granting them a constituency expedited close to 2 decades ago. Rather, they want that that's been asked for 2 decades ago. They want that issue expedited. Melita Oletenges reports on the proposals made before the National Dialogue Committee today.
Former Attorney General Amos Wako proposed to the National Dialogue Committee that all IEBC servers be made accessible to all Kenyans after every election, insisting that the 2022 elections must be audited.
If the same is not cleared, if these doubts are not cleared, it could erode confidence in future elections and reduce the figure of people participating in such elections.
Elaborating that a majority of Kenyans take home less than a third of their salaries due to different commitments in form of loans and mortgages, the Public Service Commission chairperson proposed to the committee that the existing tax regime should be progressively reviewed.
Wage increase be mooted, or public officers who are servicing mortgages be exempted from additional and similar levies taxes so as to give relief to public officers and boost performance and delivery of services. Our second recommendation on this is a staggered implementation of the housing levy and possibly consider basing the levy on the basic salary rather than the gross salary.
I want to confirm that...
The Maa-speaking Ilchamus community from Baringo South also tabled their proposals today, claiming that despite different matters being litigated in their favor by the courts, they are still pending in actualization. The 3 issues presented by the community include representation in Parliament, compensation on the effects of climate change, and the invasive Madenge species.
And the High Court was alive to this. And so they said, depart from the normal criteria to enable effective representation of the Ilchamus. I want to ask this committee, as you write your report, kindly see how you can accommodate the Ilchamus people to finally be able to be represented at the national level.
Homa Bay Interface Group in their submissions want the National Tallying Center abolished and instead have electoral colleges across the country. They also want the presidential term to be a 10-year term.
If we have like 64,000 polling stations in the entire republic and presidential A has got 50,000, definitely he is supposed to be declared the president.
Other groups that presented their memoranda include Trans Nzoia County Communities Council and the Kenya Institute for Public Policy Research and Analysis. Lack of representation cuts across different presentations made by marginalized communities who have appeared before the National Dialogue Committee. This committee is a lifeline of sorts for them to have what is written on paper actually realized. For some, like the Ilchamus community, 3 judgments granted by the court are yet to be actualized. Melita Oletenges, NTV, the Bomas of Kenya, Nairobi.